Hi, my name is Lenka. 1 month ago, I decided to do something different. I wanted to change how I learn English. I didn't want to feel stuck anymore. I didn't want to translate in my head. I didn't want to feel afraid to speak. So I gave myself a challenge. I asked, can I learn 500 new English words in 30 days? At first, it sounded a bit crazy. That's a lot of words. And I was busy. I had work. I had responsibilities. I didn't have hours every day for studying. But I didn't want to give up. I really wanted to speak better English. So I made a simple plan. No apps. No pressure. No complicated grammar. Just one daily routine, easy to follow, even on a busy day. I called it the 3-3-3 method. Every day, I did 3 things. First, I learned 3 new words. Second, I reviewed 3 old words. Third, I used 3 words in a sentence, spoken or written. That's it. No more, no less. It took about 15 to 20 minutes a day. But doing this every day made a big difference. On day 1, I picked 3 easy words: borrow, forget, return. These are common verbs I often need but sometimes forget how to use correctly. So I made example sentences. Can I borrow your phone? Don't forget to take your umbrella. Please return the book when you're finished. I wrote them in my notebook. Then I read them out loud. Then I said them again, with confidence. This was the beginning of a new habit. The next day, I did the same. And the next day. And the next. By the end of week 1, I had 21 new words in my notebook. More importantly, I could actually use them. When I watched YouTube videos in English, I started to recognize the words. When I spoke to myself, I tried to use them in context. For example, one day I said, I forgot to return the charger I borrowed from my colleague. Before, I would have struggled to say that. Now, it felt natural. One small change started a chain reaction. In week 2, I added new categories: feelings and emotions. I focused on words like nervous, excited, calm, worried, and proud. I wrote down short reflections using those words. Today I felt nervous before my presentation. I was proud of myself after I finished. Now I feel calm and ready for tomorrow. Using emotional vocabulary made learning more personal. Because I wasn't just learning words, I was expressing myself. And that's powerful. That week, I also started speaking more. When I was walking, I'd say things like, I'm excited about the weekend. Or, I feel tired, but I want to practice anyway. Saying the words out loud helped a lot. It made them real. It made them stick. By day 10, I had learned about 60 words. But I didn't feel overwhelmed. Why? Because I learned them slowly, in small steps. And I used them again and again. I also started reviewing older words during lunch breaks. Just 3 old words a day. I'd open my notebook and ask myself, what does this word mean? Can I use it in a new sentence? If I didn't remember, I checked again, no pressure. Sometimes I wrote new versions of old sentences. For example, with the word forget, day 1, don't forget to call your friend. Day 11, I forgot my umbrella again, it's always the same. This kind of review kept the words fresh in my mind. On day 11, I added a new type of word, words I often hear at work. For example, prepare, schedule, discuss, confirm, delay. These are words that come up in emails and meetings. I didn't just want to understand them, I wanted to use them confidently. So I practiced. I said things like, I need to prepare for tomorrow's meeting. Let's discuss the project later this afternoon. There may be a delay in the delivery. I started writing fake emails to myself in English, short ones. Here's an example. Hi Lenka, just a quick reminder to confirm the time of your call with the manager. Please prepare a short summary before the meeting. Let me know if you want to discuss anything. Thanks. This kind of real-world practice made learning fun and useful. I also noticed that some words were harder to remember. So I used tricks to help myself. One method was association, connecting the word to a picture or story. For example, for the word remind, I imagined my phone sending me a notification. Ding! Remind me to buy milk. For delay, I imagined standing at a bus stop in the rain, and the bus is late. These small pictures help the meaning stay in my brain longer. Another method I used was talking to ChatGPT. I'd write, "Hi, I'm practicing the word delay. Can you give me 3 example sentences?" And it would answer. Sometimes I'd ask, "Can you test me? I want to practice these 5 words: prepare, discuss, remind, confirm, delay." It felt like having a private English tutor in my pocket. On day 14, I had a difficult moment. I was tired. I had a long day. I didn't want to study. So instead of doing all 3 steps, I did just one. I picked one old word and said one new sentence. I forgot to confirm the meeting. It took 30 seconds. But I didn't break the habit. And that's the secret. It's not about being perfect every day. It's about showing up, even with just a small step. That's how you stay consistent. By day 15, I had learned over 150 words. And I could use many of them without thinking. Here's something interesting I noticed. I stopped translating in my head. Before, I would think of a sentence in my native language, then try to say it in English. Now, I just thought in English. For example, instead of thinking, "Zabudla sam si kluche, ako sa topovi?" I'd simply think, "I forgot my keys." And say it. That's real progress. In week 3, I started working with word families. I took one base word and found its other forms. Like, prepare right pointing arrow prepared right pointing arrow preparation. Remind right pointing arrow reminder right pointing arrow reminded. Organize right pointing arrow organized right pointing arrow organization. I made sentences with each. I prepared my notes. I feel prepared. The preparation helped a lot. This made my vocabulary more flexible. One word became many, and I started to sound more fluent. On day 18, I tried something new. I recorded myself speaking. I opened the voice recorder on my phone and spoke for 1 minute using 5 to 6 new words. At first, it felt strange. But when I listened back, I heard my progress. I also heard my mistakes, and fixed them the next day. Here's what I said one evening. Today I was nervous about my call, but I prepared everything on time. My manager reminded me to confirm the details. There was a short delay, but the meeting went well. I feel proud of myself. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, and it helped me build confidence. On day 20, I wrote my first mini-story using 10 words from the past week. It went like this. Last Friday, I organized a meeting with my team. We prepared a short report and discussed our next steps. Unfortunately, there was a delay with one file, so we had to reschedule. I reminded everyone to double-check their work. After the meeting, I felt proud of our progress. Writing this story made me realize how far I had come. Just 2 weeks ago, these words were new. Now I was using them in a real situation. And that felt amazing. On day 21, something really interesting happened. I was watching a YouTube video in English, a short interview. The people were speaking fast, but I noticed something. They were using words I had recently learned. I heard prepare, confirm, delay, and remind, all in one conversation. And I understood them, not just the words, but the meaning in context. That moment gave me a boost. It showed me that my work was paying off. Learning vocabulary wasn't just a list in my notebook anymore. It was real. I could see it. I could hear it. I could use it. In week 4, I started doing speaking drills. I set a timer for 2 minutes and picked a topic. My morning routine, what I did today, or my work tasks. Then I tried to speak for the full 2 minutes using words from my notebook. Here's one I remember. I usually wake up at 6:30. I prepare my things, check my schedule, and get ready for the day. If I forget something, I write a reminder. I try to stay organized, especially when I have meetings. Today I confirmed a call with a client and discussed a few tasks with my manager. I listened to the recording and smiled. It wasn't perfect, but it was clear. And that's what I wanted. Not perfection, but progress. On day 23, I spoke with a friend from another country. We had met online in a language group. We decided to talk in English for 15 minutes. At first, I was nervous. But after the first few minutes, I relaxed. I used over 20 of my new words without hesitation. I said things like, I prepared a short plan for the weekend. I forgot to send a message earlier, sorry. Let's confirm the time again tomorrow. After the call, I wrote down every word I remembered using. That became my active vocabulary list. Words I didn't just know, but actually used in real speech. That list felt more powerful than anything else. By day 25, I had learned more than 400 words. I could use most of them easily. Some were still passive. I recognized them but didn't use them yet. That was okay. So I made a simple review strategy. I picked 5 words a day from earlier weeks and made new, different sentences with them. Sometimes I used them in questions. What happens if we delay the meeting? Can you remind me to finish the task? Did you confirm the appointment? Making questions helped me speak more naturally. I also started using what I call the mirror method. Each morning, for 2 minutes, I spoke to myself in the mirror in English. It felt silly at first, but it worked. I'd say, good morning. Today is day 26. I feel excited to learn. I want to review the words, organize, decide, and complete. Let's try a sentence. I decided to organize my files yesterday. I completed the task in 1 hour. This mini routine helped me feel confident before my day even started. And because I was speaking aloud, my brain got used to forming English sentences faster. On day 27, I had a small accident. I dropped my coffee on my notebook. Some of my pages were ruined. But I didn't panic. I opened a new page and rewrote 20 of the most important words with new example sentences. In fact, it turned out to be a great review. Sometimes mistakes are just another way to practice. On day 29, I decided to write a short email to my future self. It said, Dear Lenka, congratulations. You completed your 30-day vocabulary challenge. You now know more than 500 words. You didn't just study them, you used them. You spoke. You wrote. You built confidence. Remember this. You can learn anything with small daily steps. Keep going. Keep learning. And keep believing in yourself. I saved that email. It reminded me why I started. On day 30, I took 1 hour to reflect. I went back through my notebook. I counted the words. I smiled, not because of the number, but because every word had a story. I remembered where I was when I learned schedule. I remembered who I spoke to when I used discuss. I remembered how I felt writing proud. These words weren't just information. They were part of me now. So now the question is, what will you do with your next 30 days? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to begin. That's how it started for me. 1 notebook, 3 words a day, 15 minutes. That was enough. And it changed everything. Now I want to invite you to do the same. Let me guide you with a simple plan you can follow starting today. Day 1 to 5. Focus on daily verbs, borrow, return, forget, take, help. Day 6 to 10. Learn emotion words: tired, nervous, excited, calm, proud. Day 11 to 15. Add work and time words: prepare, confirm, delay, remind, discuss. Day 16 to 20. Learn common phrases: check in, follow up, pay attention, find out. Day 21 to 25. Use conversation starters: how about, let's, maybe we can, what if. Day 26 to 30. Tell your story, review all words and use them in small paragraphs. Each day, follow the same simple 3-3-3 method. Learn 3 new words. Review 3 old ones. Use 3 in a sentence, spoken or written. If you do this, in 30 days you'll have over 500 words. But more importantly, you'll have something more powerful: consistency, discipline, confidence. And those are skills that will help you not only in English, but in everything you do. Here's what I want you to do now. Grab a notebook. Write today's date. Write 3 words you want to learn. Make 1 simple sentence with each word. Say those sentences out loud. That's it. You've started. Tomorrow, do the same. In 1 week, you'll feel the difference. In 1 month, you won't believe how far you've come. Don't worry if you forget sometimes. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Mistakes are proof that you're learning. Just don't stop. Let me share one final exercise for you. Close your eyes and imagine this. You're talking to someone in English. It could be a tourist, a client, a new friend. You want to express yourself clearly. You don't feel nervous. You don't pause to translate. You just speak, naturally, confidently, and the words flow. Now open your eyes. That future is not far. It starts today, with just 3 words. Let me share with you 5 of the biggest mistakes I made while learning vocabulary, and how you can avoid them. First, I tried to learn too many words at once. At the beginning, I got excited. I wanted to learn 10, 15, even 20 words a day. But that only made me tired and overwhelmed. I forgot most of them quickly. So I went back to just 3 words a day, and it worked. Lesson: less is more. When you learn fewer words, you remember them better. Second, I learned words I didn't actually need. Words like infrastructure, analysis, or coincidence. Interesting words, but I didn't use them in real life. So I changed my approach. I started learning words that I could use every day, at work, at home, in simple conversations. Lesson: learn the words that fit your life. If you use them, you'll remember them. Third, I didn't speak enough at first. I wrote a lot, I read a lot, but I didn't say the words out loud. And when I finally tried to speak, I hesitated. So I began reading my sentences aloud every day. I practiced shadowing and spoke in the mirror. After 1 week, my confidence grew a lot. Lesson: speak early, speak often, even if you're alone. Fourth, I skipped review. I thought, I already know this word. But after a few days, I forgot it. That's when I learned about spaced repetition. Now I review every word 3 to 4 times over 2 weeks. It makes a big difference. Lesson: don't just learn. Review. Again and again. Fifth, I compared myself to others. Some people around me seemed faster, better, more fluent. It made me feel slow. But then I reminded myself, I'm not in a race. I'm on a journey. My pace is okay. I just need to keep moving forward. Lesson: don't compare. Focus on your own progress. Now let's try something practical, a short vocabulary reflection activity. Think of 3 English words you recently learned. Now do this. 1. Say each word out loud. 2. Make 1 sentence for each word. 3. Say each sentence twice. 4. Write a short paragraph using all 3. Example. Words: borrow, delay, prepare. Sentences: Can I borrow your charger? There was a delay in the delivery. I need to prepare for tomorrow's meeting. Now a paragraph. Today I borrowed a power bank from a friend because my phone was dying. There was a delay in the train schedule, so I had to wait. I used that time to prepare notes for my meeting tomorrow. This kind of practice connects words together. It makes them stick. Let's go even further. Imagine a conversation between you and a friend, and use 5 learned words in it. Here's an example. You. Hey, did you confirm the meeting time? Friend. Yes, it's at 2 p.m. Don't forget to bring your notebook. You. Thanks. I still need to prepare a few slides. Friend. No problem. Let's meet 10 minutes early to discuss the plan. You. Perfect. I'll set a reminder on my phone. Can you see how natural that feels? These are real-life phrases. This is how you move from learning to living in English. Now, what happens after your 30-day challenge? Here's my advice. Don't stop. You don't have to continue at the same pace. But keep the habit alive. Try this simple plan. 2 new words every weekday. 1 short review session every weekend. 1 voice recording per week. 2 minutes max. 1 short story or paragraph per week. That's all you need to keep improving. In 3 more months, you'll know 200 to 300 more words. In 6 months, you'll be speaking with much more confidence. In 1 year, you'll look back and think, that small habit changed everything. And now, my final tips. These are my top 10 rules for learning vocabulary smarter. 1. Learn fewer words, more deeply. 2. Use the words in your real life. 3. Speak out loud, every day. 4. Review what you've learned regularly. 5. Write simple sentences, then combine them. 6. Group words by topic or situation. 7. Practice with stories and real conversations. 8. Don't memorize, connect. 9. Accept mistakes as part of the process. 10. Stay consistent, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. If you follow these, you will not just study English. You will start to live it. So once again I ask you, what will you do today? Will you learn 3 words? Will you say 3 sentences out loud? Will you take 1 step forward? If your answer is yes, then you're already succeeding. Leave a comment and share your 3 words. Start today, and don't stop. Let's learn together. Let's speak with confidence. And let's learn smarter. I'm proud of you. And I'll see you in the next video. If this video helped you, leave a comment. Day when I'm starting the challenge. Or share your 3 words for today. Or just say, I'm ready. Subscribe for more lessons, tips, and inspiration. Together, we can make English simple and enjoyable. Together, we can learn smarter. I'll see you in the next video.